So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. And Marian, also thank you for this lovely start. Loving the energy already.
Yeah.
I won't shout it out real loud this time. So, welcome to the Rest, Relax, and Recharge Challenge. My name is Fran. I am the chairman of the Be More Foundation. Be More is a foundation that focuses on personal growth and development for students, hence this challenge. And we are collaborating with the Hanse Honors Society and the Rug Honors College Association, kind of just to collaborate and bring this challenge to as many people as possible. That's the upside of a digital challenge. It's very easily scalable. So we figured, why not get as many people into this as we can? Now, you are all here for a reason, obviously, because mental well-being, stress, those sort of topics, they really can be difficult as a student and also as a human in general. It can be difficult to keep a grip on your stress levels, or maybe you have a difficult time focusing or with your productivity, or also, as Gijs earlier mentioned, maybe you just don't feel super happy or satisfied with where you're at. And I think those are perfectly normal things to feel. So that's why we hosted this challenge, this 10-day challenge. Now, the actual content of the challenge, that is what Marianne will tell you about more in a second. But I just want to give you a little rundown of what to expect in the format. So as you already noticed, we put you all in a very large WhatsApp group. In this WhatsApp group, you can only listen or read the messages. And every day in this group, we will share the challenge of the day. Now, we pre-recorded a bunch of challenges with Marianne. So there will be a short video explaining what to do on that day. And we will also attach some PowerPoint sheets if you want to get a little bit more information about what we will cover. We also will put all of you in smaller WhatsApp groups where you will be with 4 or 5 other participants. And in these smaller groups, you can exchange experiences, you can exchange information, maybe even some questions. The reason why we are doing this is because if we do it all in one big group, we notice it's really hard to exchange very personal things. And it also just gets a little easy to lurk and not really be active in that sense. So that's why we're going with the smaller groups. The challenge is going to be 10 days. Today is already going to be day number 1, which is very nice. So after this, there will be 9 more days. And then on the last day, we will have another gathering just like this, where we can exchange also some experiences and kind of round this off all together. Now, unfortunately, and fortunately, this challenge is digital. Normally, I would love to meet all of you in person, give you a big hug, and just share experiences in real life. But we have to work with what we got. So yeah, I hope everyone makes the most of this. Use it to your advantage, especially since we will be in a lockdown for another 2 weeks. And then I give the word to Marianne. And yeah, enjoy.
Thank you. And thank you also for hosting this challenge, for organizing it, for the idea, and to bring all the people together. So thank you as well. I'll start sharing my screen, and hopefully you'll be able to see the presentation that I've got for you guys. Even kijken. Can you see the sheets or?
Yes.
Yes, okay, perfect. So let's get started. Tonight is the first kickoff, the first day of the Rest, Relax and Recharge Challenge. And kudos for the name for the Be More Foundation, by the way, for making this this name for this challenge. First of all, I want to ask you, how would you feel if you have no stress? Maybe you can type it in the chat so we can see each other's answers as well. How would you feel if you have no stress? More productive, free as a bird. Nice. Like I could do anything, relaxed, comfortable with myself and people around me, relaxed. but I would get nothing done. That's really nice, Maren. Maybe you could explain a bit more about it?
Sure. I just feel like I only ever do stuff, especially for uni, if I really, really have to. I like to procrastinate. And if I wouldn't have any stress at all, I probably would do nothing, or at least nothing that I don't feel very passionate about.
Exactly. And it's also that's a really good explanation, because stress is not only bad. It's not only a bad thing, which I will tell you a little bit more later. But thanks for sharing. Relax, but less motivated, so you can see other people have the same kind of problem. And that's really what we're trying to do with this challenge, is to give you a bit more insight. What is stress? What do you feel with stress? What kind of problems can you feel? And what kind of things can you do to feel less stressed, but also more confident, more happy, more vibrant? And also, because normally I only talk about this topic, but obviously it's a really strange time that we're living in. So I want to share some insights as well about motivation and how you can focus during Corona and keep going in this strange situation that we're in together. So let's get started, I would say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to inform you and hopefully inspire you, but most of all, we'll get to work. So I'll give tips, exercises. You can share the things in the WhatsApp groups. And really get the good vibes going, because I think the best way to learn and the best way to experience is to do things and to test, it works for me, I can't really resonate with this kind of thing. And that's the way you evolve, and that's the way you grow. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Marian, and I'm the founder of Gelukkige Student. I started with Gelukkige Student because my own studies was a really nice time, but also I had really bad moments during my studies. It's a bit underestimated. It's not really a right way to say bad things, but I felt often quite lonely, really stressed out because of all the work that I needed to do. Living on my own for the first time, it just really was a strange period in my life, with really high points where I felt, I'm on top of the world and I know what I'm doing and this is awesome. But also times it's really confusing and stressed out and just not so, no, exactly what Gijs told, not really a nice feeling. And after my studies, I started working and excuse me, I felt in the same traps that I've done during my studies. So trying to do everything perfect, not wanting to make any mistakes. And when my manager said, you're doing great, I felt really good about myself. But once he said, well, Marianne, you need to improve on these and these topics, I felt really bad about myself. And I started to work on that to build my confidence, to feel more relaxed, to feel more empowered. And I thought, if I only knew a little bit of what I know right now when I was studying, it would have gone really different. So I wouldn't be pushing myself. I wouldn't only want to achieve good things, never wanted to fail, do everything perfect. And there was also a period during that study that I want to share with you guys, is that I couldn't push myself anymore. Because I remember it very clearly. I was in the bus. That's why I've got this image of the bus going from Groningen. I studied in Groningen as well. Back to my parents' house. And I said to my mom, I don't know how to manage it all. You know, maybe you know that feeling that it's so much you need to do and there's so much things going on. And you had to work. I had to see my friends. I had to go out. Unfortunately, we can't go out now, but that's also what I was doing a lot. But also my exams were coming up and I couldn't push myself to get to work and to start going. And that's what that was the point that my mom said, okay, you need to relax more, you need to get some help to get yourself out of this situation and get more focus and more grip on your own life. So that's basically what I've done. And I found that once I achieved this confidence and I felt a bit better about myself, that pushing myself out of the comfort zone really helps. So that's why I asked also if you lived in the UK, because I lived in Oxford for half a year, and I lived on Texel for a couple of months. And talking about something personal, maybe you saw the image I have behind me, because after my studies, I went traveling for a year and also 2 months in Southeast Asia. And I bought this picture in Cambodia. And I had it on my backpack for like 2 months in like a koker. I don't know the English word, but I put it on my backpack, and that's why I brought it tonight, because it's really a nice image for me, like thinking back to that awesome time that I had then. So I felt a lot better after getting help and just looking at my studies differently. And that's what I share with Gelukkig Student. And that's why I give such workshops like this one, challenges, but often students come to me for personal help about these topics. Let's first off talk about the causes of stress. You can, if I can see you all in the with the cameras on, so you can raise your hand if you resonate with the things that I say. Deadlines. Do you recognize you have a lot of stress from deadlines? Yes. Full agendas. I don't know if you are the same as I was, or sometimes am, but if I had a space in my agenda and someone asked, oh, do you want to do something? I just looked if I had space, not look if I wanted to do it or I had anything else to do. I just thought, oh yeah, I've got a space from 7 till 8. I'll put you in that space. And I had days like, and it's obviously different now, but I had days like, going to college, then afterwards going to the ACLO, hey, you know the ACLO, then go to have dinner with some friends, and then afterwards going for drinks with other friends, and then the next day at 9 o'clock I needed to go back to the college. So that kind of days I had often, which I found really normal, and often the last holiday, a Christmas holiday, I often was really sick, because then my body was like, okay, what is happening? I'm feeling more relaxed. And I see Anine laughing really loudly. She recognized this. So full agendas is really, yeah, the way I lived, the way just blocking every moment that I had. Exams, tentamens, yes. The BSA, I don't know if you are from abroad that you also have this, but I know that Dutch students maybe recognize this as a cause of stress. Trying to be perfect, not trying to fail, to do everything perfect. Finances for some of the I know some students that are thinking, okay, I need to go to this exam because otherwise I only have 2 chances this year. And if I don't, then I'll have to have a bigger loan. It costs me more money to finish the studies. So it also can really add on to the stress that you're already feeling. Maybe you can feel this as well, the need of purpose, the need to be successful. We've all been grown up, parents saying, oh, you can achieve anything you like, and you see people on social media doing awesome things and amazing things, and you think like, okay, if you do that, you kind of work your way really hard to do all the things together. But if you don't know how you want to be successful or what is successful for you, it can really add on to the stress of the feeling to kind of need to have a purpose in life. But you're still young, you can figure it all out. Anyway, exercising, working, social media, studying. I purposely put studying on the last spot because often all the other things are already taking up a lot of our time. But we're also in a really, really strange time. And I don't want to go, I'm really excited, sorry, I'll talk a bit more relaxed. Okay. But We are living in a really strange time, and it also really adds on to the stress that you might already felt before Corona. So I want to share with you these kind of things that are causing maybe more stress. The uncertainty that we're living in. It's not only the uncertainty of maybe another lockdown, longer lockdown, but also what kind of economy, what kind of impact does it have? What kind of jobs can we have? Internships, you know, and also the uncertainty, are we going to get ill? Is someone else going to get ill? It's a lot of uncertainty that you might feel, and which also add on for stress, but also gives you the feeling of not having control of everything. And also the way that the study is now is really from different quality. I don't know if you recognize this. Obviously, you're looking at the whole day at the screen. If you're doing an exam or you're just looking at a lecture, it's such a different vibe. Normally, you go to the room with all your all the classmates, and you go and do your exam. But now you do all the things on the same screen, and it really makes it one blurry kind of experience. And I know that a student told to me that she was looking at a lecture from a teacher, but he forgot to put on his mic, but he also switched off the chat. So no one could tell to him, okay, we can't hear you, but he, and so that kind of experience you might, I don't know if you had it, but that's the kind of thing that I hear from students. And obviously feeling more responsible, because normally you can kind of flow with the vibe of the other students and everyone that is also around. And sorry, I see that someone wants to join. But it all needs to come from yourself, and you feel a lot more responsibility to do the studies that you need to do. And I also want to say, I want to really share with you that I hear a lot of students that are suffering or feeling alone now, because you are alone a lot of the time, and maybe you feel a little bit alienated from other people, and you don't know, okay, once Corona is over, how will everything go? How can I be in contact with everybody? How does these kinds of things, how will it work once it's over? And I really want to point out to you that a lot of students feel this. They feel quite lonely, and I just want to share with you that you're not on your own with these feelings. Just for you to know. You also have like an option in Zoom is to put a hand up. I don't know if you see that underneath in your screen in the black thing. Maybe you can do that, because that's really nice. You can I can see it in your screen. If you recognize these consequences, insomnia, so not being really. Oh yeah, I can see it. 3, 4 hands. Exactly. It's like when your head reaches the pillow, touches the pillow. Sorry, that it goes on to think about things, the to-do list that you need to do, the things that you should have done. It's just that time of that it takes up a lot of room to think about all the things you need to do and all the or your whole to-do list. Maybe you're feeling a bit restless. A lot of hands and thumbs up. Yep, exactly. You know, I know that because you, there's always something to do, right? It's never a moment where you just can relax, or even if you are trying to relax or you're looking at Netflix, you feel like guilty to look at Netflix because you need to do all kinds of things. So it's really, if you have raised your hands, it's really normal. So a lot of students suffer from restlessness. Excited bowel movements. I don't know. I don't have. You can share your hands up, but I know that it really reflects on your physical. Also, your sore head, neck, other physical discomforts. And I always had, it always hits my belly when I'm too stressed out. So that's why I share this with you. Vastly irritated. A lot of hands. I know when I was living with my roommate, and obviously when you're in a student dorm or in a student house, there's a lot of dishes that's never done, and it's no one's dishes, you know, that kind of dishes. And I was so stressed out, and she was just, as always, she didn't do her dishes. But I just went off to her. I just was, no, I was not very nice when when I spoke to her that evening. And I still feel a bit sorry that I've done that to her. But that's what happens, right? When you're so stressed out, and just a person that is really close to you, they kind of like need to take the punches. But don't stress, do your best, forget the rest. Let's talk about it. Because what is stress? Stress isn't bad. What we said earlier as well, we kind of need stress to do stuff, right? To get things done. And if you look back in time, the caveman used it to fight or fly, or flee. Sorry, my English, I'm not a native speaker, you forgive me, right? um, um, but it's really a mechanism that uses us to perform once the caveman, excuse me, I'm gonna take one sip of my drink. It was really a way to cope with different situations. So as a caveman, they were relaxing and they were chilling, and then once they needed to get food, they'll start to use stress to actually get that food that they needed. So they get more adrenaline, get more focused, their heartbeat went up, and they went after their food. And also because at caveman times, when a mammoth would attack you or another predator, you needed to flee. You needed to focus. Where can we go? What can we do to make sure that we're safe? And that's the mechanism of stress. That's really why we can use stress in an advantage way. So as what we spoke about earlier, if you have like something you need to make sure that you get done. So before a presentation or before you need to go to your exam, it's really nice to get that focus going, to get the adrenaline going. And it's really a way to cope with different situations. But where it goes wrong is that there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance between relaxing and being stressed out. And what we said earlier, a lot of people resonated with feeling restless, feeling on the whole time. And that's what is the way, that's what we're gonna work on. Let's put it that way. That's what we're gonna work on and make sure that you feel more in balance between relaxing and stressed out. I'm curious, but maybe you can share in the chat. So you had the caveman early on and you have students right now. What is the difference between the way that they are feeling the stress? So I'll explain a bit about the caveman, but if you look at yourself, what kind of stress difference can you think of between the caveman and students right now? Exactly. It doesn't seem to stop, says Gemma. Yeah, exactly. Amber, I like it. Stress leads to a good feeling and stress leads to negative feelings. Can you maybe share a bit more about what you mean by that?
Well, the guy on the left looks pretty happy because he got his food.
He's got his food or he's safe. Yeah, exactly.
And he's safe. And the guy on the right just looks stressed out and like he is experiencing a lot of negative emotions.
Mm. And do you resonate with that? Like if you feel stressed out, that you feel more negative?
Yes, a bit more depressed when stressed out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And how does it? What do you feel then?
It's just restlessness.
Hmm. Constant feeling of needing to do stuff, right? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Anxiety, I see anxiety are options, exactly. Less moving, more sitting, Elina, exactly. Yeah, Myron, we don't have to be afraid of dying every day, so we find stress in many other tasks and then staying alive. Yeah, exactly. And I've had to see the difference. You can see the cavemen, I've explained earlier, they are mainly relaxed, right? They are just really stressed on specific moments when they needed to perform and the threats were real. So maybe you all shared this already. And students are mainly focused, like you have to perform the whole time, you have to be on edge the whole time. And what I said earlier as well, once you allowed yourself to relax, right, to watch Netflix, you still feel like a bit of guilt or just restlessness to actually really feel relaxed. And also students have to be but people in general nowadays are like 24/7 available. So I know that some students are or most of the students are in project groups and it's 9:30 in the evening and you get a text of a student, of another student that says, oh, you need to, or did you do this or this for the project that we're working on? And even though you were relaxing or you were looking at Netflix, you see this message coming and you think, okay, I need to check this or I need to do stuff because they are expecting something from me. And also the threats that are realistic for the caveman, what we explained or what I saw in the chat as well. Hey, you don't have to be afraid of dying, what Maren said. Nowadays, it's not the same kind of threats that we're dealing with, but our brain associates the messages that we receive or the emails that we receive or the feeling that we need to do stuff is the same kind of feeling that we have with the stress that the cavemen used to have. So, dear stress, let's break up. And that's this whole purpose of this whole challenge, is for you to feel more relaxed. And what do we do these couple of days? First of all, today is the kickoff. I explained a bit more about the stress, the causes of stress, what you can feel. The second day, which is already available, Fran will maybe explain a little bit later of how it's going to be shared, but it's going to be of staying, the topic is going to be staying positive. Then we're going to talk about focus. I don't know how, we didn't really talk about this already, but I find it quite difficult to stay focused during Corona and during, or I don't find it, but I know that a lot of students find it as well. And also to become more productive is the next day. Then the topic is happy thoughts. A lot of worrying, what we feel, and as a lot of our mental space goes to things that we think about, the things that are coming in the future or the things that happen in the past, that take up a lot of mental space. And the topic of Friday is happy thoughts, how you can give their thoughts a bit more positive vibe, but also to I don't know if you can resonate, but like worrying is like a swing. You think about it a lot of the time, it takes a lot of space, but you don't move, you don't go anywhere because you can't change the past and you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So that's the topic of Friday. We're going to talk about perfectionism. A lot of us recognize it to be trying to be perfect. And also we're going to talk about energy, because it's really important how you can keep your energy up, how you can focus or keep your energy up to focus, to get your study going, and just to feel better about yourself. We're going to talk about motivation, what we said earlier, we need stress to motivate ourselves for things that we don't really like. Well, we're going to talk about how you can find your motivation in yourself. And also we're going to talk about your future starts now. And the last day, what Fran already explained, is going to be a live Q&A. So if you have anything, you can ask me and I will help you personally during this Q&A with the stuff that you found during this challenge, or that you thought of, or that you need help with, and to round the whole challenge together. I would really like for you to type in the chat, what do you find difficult about studying now during Corona? Because you might feel, what I've said earlier as well, that a lot of students feel alone because of Corona. So I think it's good for you to see what everyone experience now.
Yeah, focusing.
Kind of losing my social skills, exactly. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Ooh. Following along, it all seems to go so fast. Mostly the online class and losing my balance. Things like workouts, exactly. Uncertainty, yeah, uncertainty, lack of motivation and focus, Louise. So you saw the topic, so hopefully those days will really help you. Exactly, Ruben. No reason. That's really the whole. A lot of students feel that. So not a lot of social interaction, no real reason to get out of bed. Normally you have like these, I call it switch moments. So you get out of bed, you make your, I don't think Ruben puts on the makeup, but you do your hair, or you get a shower, or you put on clothes and you go to college. And then once you get from college, you go back to home, you go make dinner, and you have those switch moments. And those switch moments are not there because everything happens on the screen, right? So yeah, it's really difficult to find the time. What is work? What is relaxing time? What is studying time? Everything kind of blends into one whole pot of time. And I think a lot of students feel this. I miss seeing other frustrated students in the library, having a nice student breaks with friends. Alexa, yeah, exactly. I know a student who said to me, I'd never thought that I would miss the university library, because I often was like cursing on that thing. I needed to be there at 8 o'clock because otherwise there was no space. And now you just miss it, right? No one would have expected that. No. Exactly, nothing to look forward to. We'll talk about that as well, Anina, how you can like cover that emotion. Screen time, yeah, exactly. I can't really get the screen time to decrease, but hopefully you'll have a nice feeling after this challenge. So I think it's a lot of recognizable things that everyone says in the chat, and thank you so much for sharing. I want to do one exercise to conclude this kickoff, and obviously if you have any questions, share it in the chat and I'll get back to that. But first of all, I want to do a relaxing exercise with you. And it's going to be a breathing exercise for 2 minutes. And if you want to join me, can you please sit up straight and put your 2 feet on the ground? And I'll set the timer. And you can put your hands on your belly. Because what often happens if you're really stressed out is that your breathing happens really high. So it's really in your chest area that you breathe a lot. And if you put your hands on your belly and you start breathing and you start feeling your belly inflating and deflating, it's taking that breath down, and it's really decreasing your stress already. So sit up straight, put your 2 feet on the ground, put your hands on the belly, and feel your breath going to your belly for 2 minutes. And if you like, you can close your eyes. And maybe you feel distracted by thoughts or noises. And the only thing you need to do is give your attention to your breath and give your attention to your belly. And then you can wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers and open your eyes again. And we'll take the 3 big breaths together. And when you breathe in, you can pull up your shoulders and put them down when breathing out. So follow me, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. One more. Can you share in the chat how you found this exercise? Soothing. Oh, nice. Relaxing. 2 minutes. Relaxing for sure. Difficult to focus. Do you want to share a bit more about that, Maaike?
Yeah, sure. I have a big deadline coming up, so that just kept coming up inside my head. So in the end, I felt a bit more relaxed, but it would be good to do it a bit longer for me, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. They say that how more stressed out you are, how much more time you need to take to meditate or to breathe or to focus on your breath. So I've done the mindfulness education, and I needed to do a breathing exercise for 45 minutes till an hour, just sitting there breathing. Well, the first time I just felt like this time was never gonna end. It's so long and so much time, but it's like running, right? The first time you go running, you can't run a marathon. You need to practice and do it more often and make sure that you do it regularly to make it more easy to use it as a relaxing tool. But it's not for everyone. So it's an exercise just to get acquainted with it, just to see if it's something that can maybe help you to soothe yourself. And it really soothes your system, which is so stressed out, what I explained earlier, to say there is no real threat, it's okay, I am safe, if only 2 minutes to get the whole stress level down. So thanks for sharing, Maaike. Relaxing, a basic meditation, exactly, difficult to focus. Oh yeah, Mike said that already, sorry. Hard at first to concentrate on breathing and then quite relaxing, nice. Exactly. And what I explained, it's really a way of trying to get your system to say to your system, it's okay, you're safe. And maybe breathing and sitting still is not the way to go for you, but try something else, like when you're doing the dishes, to really focus on the dishes. So when you're doing the dishes, only focus on what you feel and what you see and what you hear, so all the senses that you have. Instead of thinking about the deadline that you are now facing and thinking of, and just really focus on this task that is at hand, and to give your system a signal that it's all okay. So that's another way to go about it. To inspire each other, the last thing I want to share together, what do you do to relax? So cleaning. Oh, I love, yeah, okay. I sound like a real housewife now, but I understand why you like cleaning. Can you share a bit more about that, Hayum?
Well, my friends also think it's a bit weird, but I really love cleaning and organizing the house.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see the clean house and things are in places, I feel so satisfying and achieved somehow. So I feel so relaxed and yeah, things are in order.
Exactly. It actually takes mental space, right? Clutter and everything that needs to be done, if it's inside. So it helps. And what I find, sometimes you have those days that you have to do a really big project and it takes a lot of time. You can't finish it in one day. But cleaning gives you an instant result, right?
Yeah,
So,
I think that's it.
yeah. So I resonate. I recognize it. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for sharing. So organizing, cleaning, other as well, going for walks. Yeah, exactly. I don't know for sure if I've explained it in a video, so I'll explain it now, and maybe it comes up later again. But start with maybe with the WhatsApp group that that you're in for this challenge, to ask other people to start walking together, because you can walk in a safe distance from each other and it makes it feel more social. So start a WhatsApp group with people that live nearby you, and say, okay, tonight who wants to go for a walk? Also, I know some students that are watching a lecture doing that whilst walking. So have a little notepad with them and go walking while and listening to the lecture that they are attending to. So walking is is also a really nice thing to do. A lot of inspiring things, I think. Dance, Donna? Oh, do you do just dance or just put on some music and go? Donna?
She said both.
Sorry, I typed it in the chat and I had to find out where to unmute myself. But both, yeah.
Both. Oh yeah, exactly. So just dance is also for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You also feel you instantly feel more happy, right? After dancing.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It really works. Nice. Thanks for sharing. So that's, if I don't know if anyone has any question, but this is what I wanted to share with you for the kickoff tonight. And you can maybe, Fran, can you explain how the second day video will be shared? Is that in the WhatsApp group as well?
Yes, of course. Thank you, first of all, for this beautiful presentation.
Nice,
and for the very relaxing breathing exercise. That was super nice. As I mentioned in the beginning, I will be sending a daily message in the WhatsApp group in which we will give a very short explanation of what the day is about, and then also a link to the website of Marian where you can actually find the video for that day. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me or Marian, or ask your mates in the group, and I'm sure you'll get I hope you get a satisfactory answer. And yeah, so we just sent you the challenge every single day, and things will be clear that way.
exactly. And for now, does anyone have a question for me?
Maybe one question. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
And the exercises you're going to share, do you do them yourself or no?
Not on a daily basis, because stress is something that is part of life, and it's not often. What I'm trying to explain tonight as well is that it's also a really good system that helps you to perform. But I do try to let go of my trying to do everything perfect and make faults, because it's part of life. And often when I feel really stressed out, I try to check in with myself. So my system is all like worked up and stressed out, and my heartbeat is on. I try to be in the moment and feel, okay, what can I do to feel more relaxed, even though I need to do a lot of work. And that really helps me do the things that I need to do. So not every day that I do all the exercises, but it's all incorporated in my daily life. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
I have a question as well.
Yes, sure.
You shared before that you had studies where you have to practice meditating for 45 minutes. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a mindfulness education. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you would like to share something, like a tip or something to start meditating, because I'm currently dealing with some stress, and I was thinking that meditation would work very good for dealing with that stress.
Yeah, thanks for asking this question. What really, you have a lot of apps that could help. You have, Louisa says as well. I know Headspace is a really nice one. Maybe other people can share in the chat as well. Headspace is a really nice one, because I'm thinking of all the Dutch apps that are out there, but Headspace is really nice. Here, Buddyfy, Waking Up. Oh, Waking Up is great. Can you see that in the chat as well?
Yeah. I see.
And what
I was checking also the Headspace and well, I think most of the apps are the ones where you have to pay something.
Yeah.
But,
what
okay.
Milan says is really nice as well, because what I wanted to share with you on YouTube, you have a lot of meditations as well, also quite specific ones. So if you feel a bit more depressed or bummed out, that kind of meditation, or meditation to get more motivation, or to feel more in sync with yourself, that kind of meditation you can find on YouTube as well. And what might help is start doing things like yoga. I don't know if you ever tried to do yoga.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, because you have, I'm personally a fan of yoga with Adrian. I'll put it in the chat as well. Yoga with Adrian. She's from the US, what I find is she's also really funny during the yoga. It's not really serious, and she talks maybe a bit too much. But yeah, the 30-day challenge. Are you doing it, Gemma? Oh, I want to know. Oh yeah, Cassandra is also a good one. Yes, nice. And she's currently doing a 30-day challenge. But what I find is really, she's and also really gets you in a meditative state, but also it's a fun kind of way to go about it. And that's what I like a lot as well. I actually went to London to meet her. And I thought I was going to a small class with yoga with Adrian and with Adrian. I was so excited. I went to London on my own, and I was, this is going to happen. And I got to the venue, and there were 2,800 other people So she was like a rock star going on stage doing the yoga with all these big screens, and I was like, I'm not gonna talk to her. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, yoga with Adrian might be a good way to start with getting into the meditation kind of stuff. Is that
Thank
helpful? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who has a question? Then I would like to end this evening. I'll stay a bit more in this Zoom if you want to have more personal time, but you're now free to go. Hopefully this has been useful for the first kickoff. Let's get this party going, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Very much for organizing.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
You.
Thanks, guys. Oh, looking forward to this week, or 10 days. Sorry, 10 days. Cool. Thanks, guys. Do you see the question from Milan Fran?
Yes.
Cool.
I replied in the chat, but I'll send them every day, Milan. I sent them every day in the chat.
Hartstikke bedankt. Thanks, Amin.
Hartstikke bedankt mag ook hoor.